When you think of poor American neighborhoods, what's the first thing that comes to mind? What about ghetto? When you search these two terms on Google, the results are very similar. That's because when you think of ghetto as a noun, it's a synonym for poor American neighborhoods. But when you think of it as an adjective, it calls something else to mind.
Throughout history, ghetto has always been a label assigned to minority groups within larger communities. Due to labor shortages caused by the First World War, at least 400,000 African Americans migrated to northern cities from the South in pursuit of these opportunities. This was known as the Great Migration, which created the first large urban black communities in the North.
In 1934, as part of President Roosevelt's New Deal program to curb the effects of the Great Depression, the Federal Housing Administration was established. The FHA's purpose was to help secure loans and diminish bank foreclosures on family homes. While the organization's goal was to assist people in their most dire time of need during the Great Depression, it ended up solely benefiting whites while leaving communities of color in the dust. This neglect of so much of the country's population is due to a process of ruling out communities of color from acquisition of loans, neighborhood investments, and potential social mobility, the process of redlining.
By introducing redlining, the FHA selectively provided the option to pursue the American dream exclusively to those on the white side of the fence. In 1968, President Johnson signed the initiation of the Fair Housing Act. It entailed prohibition of the refusal to sell, rent, or negotiate with any person because of their racial background.
I signed a message to the Congress. That message called for the enactment, and I quote, of the first effective federal law against discrimination in the sale and the rental of housing in the United States of America.
Despite this, many elements have stood in the way of true equal housing. Proposition 13 was introduced soon after as an initiative that gave homeowners the incentive to stay where they are to avoid property tax appreciation. Racial steering is a modern practice where real estate brokers guide prospective home buyers away from certain neighborhoods and communities and towards others based on their racial background. These practices, among others, all contribute to the preceding existence of redlining today.
So the next time you hear the word ghetto, think of what it implies and why.